getting the conference call individuals in. All right, we're going to get started in just a few more seconds, everybody. Welcome to Leadership TKO. Hello, Desiree. Hey, Precious. Thank you so much. You said you like the braids. Thank you. All right. And while we're waiting, go ahead and share this news feed with those on your walls and in your groups. So go ahead and do that. And we're going to go ahead and get started in just a few more seconds. Making sure everything is working well. It looks like everything is a go. Awesome. All right, everybody. Welcome. Lakeisha McKnight is here, and welcome to Leadership TKO. I am your host, and this is a night show where I'm actually coming in, and I'm just going to be talking about some powerful content and information as it pertains to building female global leaders. I noticed that, fortunately, of course, women, sisters like yourself, have been the main individuals tuning into this show. And so most of the content is going to be geared towards you and building you up as a leader. So again, thank you so much for being here. If you want to learn more about the brand, definitely connect with us on Facebook, right? Leadership TKO is how you're going to find us there. We're also online. We have our own website as well, leadershiptko.com, where you can learn more about what it is that we do. We partner with organizations, small businesses, right? Nonprofit organizations, associations to build winning leaders globally. We're not just talking about the local stuff. We want to build leaders globally in every continent in this world, every continent, okay, on Earth. So that's what we're looking to do. We have a huge mission before us. We're seeking to reach so many more people. Right now, of course, we're on the Spreaker platform. Of course, we do our conference line for those who are, on the go and they want to tune in. So if you want to get connected with Spreaker, you can do that. You can download the app. We're soon going to have our own app as well. So definitely stay tuned for that. We're going to be in the Android market as well as in the Apple store as well. So we'll announce that in a larger way very soon. So definitely connect with us on these platforms. We're also going to be on SoundCloud, so stay tuned for that. We're going to be doing some revamping of the brand, making sure, of course, everything is consistent on SoundCloud because we noticed that we had a pretty decent audience there. So definitely, definitely do that and connect with us there. We noticed that we're reaching a lot more people around the world via Spreaker. Okay, we've reached people from Cambodia. I'm talking about people from South Africa. There are many people who are tuning in to the podcast show that I have hosted on Spreaker, and so we're just grateful and thankful for those of you who are listening in on Spreaker around the world. We appreciate your listenership. We appreciate your dedication, of course, to the podcast. And for those of you on live stream, I see you. And I know that you see me as well. So again, thank you so much for being connected. So I'm extremely excited. There are a lot of people who are down and out. Many people, of course, who are on Washington. Of course, my spirit is with those of you ladies who marched on Washington, marched in your respectful cities. Of course, I'm definitely going to pump my fist in the air because I believe that it is our time as sisters to stand up and to rise up and to really acknowledge our place in this world today. We have been doing some amazing things as women, and we cannot, of course, in this season, in this climate, we cannot back down. We have to stand strong. We have to stand strong for our families. And so, of course, the focus of this message today is really to talk about that. So if you know of any sisters that need to be watching, need to be listening in from anywhere around the world, encourage them to listen or watch the podcast or watch the live stream. It's very important that they become plugged in because this is a message tonight that everyone needs to hear. Okay, everyone needs to hear. I'm super excited at what I saw at the march. I saw Alicia Keys and some other greats who are standing up and really representing women around the world. And so it's important for us to come together united, put aside all of these ill feelings that for some reason they've had, which I don't know the reason why some women have, and I don't believe they know the reason why they have it. But it's time for us to put aside all of these ill feelings and come together and unite as one. Right? As one, not separated, because that's what the enemy wants. He wants separation. He wants division. But it's important for us to come together as one unit, as one people with one voice, right? One voice, so that we can make a powerful impact in this world today and make a greater difference in this world. Our daughters are looking up to us, right? To be that model for them. And so we have to do that. And I'm just going to talk about some very important things, but most importantly, of course, our topic, the wombed man for president in 2020. Is it possible? Right? That's the topic tonight. The wombed man for president in 2020. So we're going to go into this topic, and then, of course, I'm going to share with you the new flow of how this is going to work, because I want to make sure there's clarity between all of the various platforms that we're on. Okay? So let's talk about that, the wombed man. First of all, of course, the reason why I named it the wombed man, because the female is the man with the womb, right? Okay, at the beginning, I'm not going to get extremely spiritual here, but at the beginning, of course, man was placed into the deep sleep. A rib was pulled out of his side, right? The rib came out of man while he was in his sleep. That was the first surgery, by the way, right? Came out, right? And because of that, that's how women was created. The wombed man, and we are the man with a womb. We have the ability to give birth, right? To other beings and really populate this world. Of course, we can't do it without the seed of man. Right? We can't do it without the seed of man. We need the seed. We need the support. We need the encouragement. We need, of course, the backbone, of course, which is our men. We can't do the things that we do without men. But at the same time, we need one another as sisters for that support, for that emotional support. Okay, for that connection, that bond. And so, I want to talk about: is it possible for a female, a woman, to be president in 2020? Okay, we already know who's in office right now, and I just want to encourage you that just because this individual is in office does not mean that he is going to trump the word of God. Let me correct that. Let me say that one more time. Just because an individual, doesn't matter who the president is, they can't override the power, the authority, the word, the final say-so of God Almighty. Won't happen. Absolutely can't happen. He wouldn't have been in office if God didn't want it to happen. But understand, your voice is powerful, right? A lot of people sat back and just observed and said, of course, my vote is not going to matter as much, but it does. And as you can see, because of your ability to sit back and observe the individuals in office who is currently in office and president of the United States. So we as a group, as women, of course, can have a more powerful voice in 2020 if we stand up and we allow our voices to be heard. And not just waiting until 2020, but now, of course, just taking action and doing what we need to do, walking in our purpose. Let me show you something. Here is the reason why I strongly believe that in 2020, it is possible. Okay, let me sit up a little bit. It is possible for female to be president. Of course, we are really close in this year, and we should not give up just because, of course, it did not happen according to the way that we wanted it to, right? Doesn't mean that it's not possible. The reason why I understand that it's possible is because of this, right? I'm not going to, of course, try to cover my face, but hopefully you can see it, right? It's because of Legacy. This is the former name of the magazine that my company has. But it's because of Legacy that I understand that we cannot give up. We cannot. You know, Janine says that's the key to walk in our purpose. Absolutely. Absolutely. We can't bow down. We can't give up because our legacy is at stake, right? Our children and our children's children need to understand that, you know, hope remains. Okay? Hope does not give up. Hope remains hopeful, remains, of course, believing that it's possible. Hope does not give in. So we can't give in as women. But we have to come together as a united front, locking arms, right? And allowing our voice to be heard as one people. We have to. And I spoke about this topic many a times ago, or at least months ago, about some of the issues that continue to plague our community within the African American community and just the people of color, our community in general. And just as women in general, let me just put it that way, not even just as people of color, but as women. There are a lot of things that we still struggle with, and really, it's a mind issue. It's a mind issue, it's a flesh issue. If you're not sticking close to the supernatural being who created you, then you're going to try to compare yourself to someone else, and your thoughts are going to filtrate and actually be, believe that that's how you ought to be, that you ought to be like someone else. And in actuality, you ought to really be yourself and celebrate who you are, celebrate your uniqueness. And that's what we need to be doing for one another as sisters, celebrating each other's uniqueness and each other's purpose, because we're all here for a purpose. This is the reason why we're still here. Okay, so the female has the traits, has the capability of being president. Why? Because for so many years, we have carried a huge burden. What is the burden? There are so many of you who have been single parents, right? You gave birth to a human being. Right? I was told many years ago that I was infertile and could not have children. And I share a lot of this about this story specifically in the upcoming book that I'm collaborating with a couple of other women. I'm going to be sharing this a little bit more in that book. But for many years, I've been told that I was infertile, that I could not have children. And of course, that couldn't be farther from the truth. Okay? That could not be farther from the truth. And here's the reason why. The reason being is because as of today, I have two, not just one, but two beautiful children. And I have no one to give a thanks and honor to but God. But God. There's no other way to explain it. Because he's given me the ability to have children. And for those of you who have been told, who have been given the report that you can't have children, let me just go against the grain and say, that report is not the final report. Whose report are you going to believe? Whose words are you going to believe? Those words, they're not really yours until you own it, until you accept it. The moment you accept it as yours, that's when it becomes a reality for you. That didn't become a reality for me. Just like, for example, the thought of female not being president. That's not a thought for me because I know that it's possible. Yes, God has the final say so. Absolutely. Absolutely. Of course, I am going to be sharing this to a page. Let's see here. I'm going to be sharing this live stream. So I'm trying to get it, of course, to some respectful groups of mine. All right. So give me just a second, everybody. All right, so hopefully we got it going there. But understand that, I did not believe that report, and you don't have to believe that report either. Because God says he wants us to be fruitful, and he wants us to multiply. So that means that the possibility is here. He gives us, he wants us. This is something he desires of us to do, to be able to multiply in the earth and be able to give birth to another being. And because we have the ability to populate this world and give birth to another human being, think about that. We have the ability to give birth, to birth a female, to birth a male. So, without a shadow of a doubt, we definitely have the ability to be president of the United States of America. We have the ability to be in office. You see, former First Lady Michelle Obama showed us that it's possible. And I know, of course, she probably would make a stunning president if she was to do it. which of course she's probably told many people that she wasn't, right? But we have the unique ability. We have the ability to be president and occupy that office if we really, really want to. And of course, if it's ultimately God's will. It's his will that shall be done, right? And as believers, let me talk to the believers right now who is watching this, or listening to the podcast. Understand, God has the final say so. Listen, it is God who is in control. It is God who guides the thoughts and the mind and the actions, of course, if they allow it, of man. So just because a man is in office doesn't mean that he has the final say so. He absolutely doesn't. And no matter what they do to try to hurt you, put you down, try to hinder you from doing amazing things in the world, they can't stop the will of God. Right? So don't allow the things of the world, the people in this world, to have the final say so in your life. It is God, it is the Most High who has the final say so in any situation in your life. And that is the same for a female. If God wants a female in office, he will allow a female to occupy that office. But despite who's in office, let me just say this. We need to pray for whoever's in office, despite what they may have done, because we're not perfect and neither is the president. The president's not perfect. The first lady is not perfect. You're not perfect. So pray for the president. Don't talk about him, right? Pray for him. Pray for him, right? Pray for those who spitefully use you, who persecute you. That's what the Bible says, isn't it? Are you praying for the president? Or are you just talking about the problem, talking about the concern? And yes, I know you may be angry, there may be hurt, there may be frustration, but don't let bitterness, just take over your heart, because that's what the enemy wants to see happen. He wants you to be bitter. He wants to distract you from your purpose in this season, because the person in office is not who you wanted to see. Maybe, just maybe, this person is in office so that you can see God at work. Understand, he has a bigger purpose in mind beside, what you can ever think or imagine. He does. But you have to believe it. You have to trust him. He's not going to tell you and show you everything, right? So just trust him. It's a faith walk. It's a faith walk. So we have to trust him. But understand, the possibility still remains that we can. And in the spirit of our former president, we can be in office as a female. As a female, we can be in office. As a female, we can build and start amazing businesses. As women, we can go out there and do some amazing things. We can raise genius kids, which of course we are, right? We can and we will. We can and we will. I'm going to actually see if I can pull up a poem, okay, that I wrote, and it was published. You can actually Google it online as well. It's a poem I wrote. Hopefully I can get it and I can pull it up. Okay, so I'm going to try to pull this up because I definitely would love to share this poem with you. And I think this is a great segue to be able to wrap up, of course, this talk. But we have the unique ability. We are intelligent beings. We have the ability to make sound decisions. And so because of this, and of course, many other traits, we have the ability to occupy the position of presidency. We have it. Let me read to you a poem. It's actually called Virtuous Woman, okay? And I actually wrote this in 2009, and it's still online. You can definitely search for it online, okay? And it goes like this. Do you not know who I am? I am a woman of grace, a woman of excellence. As I walk on this land full of sin, I question my very existence. What is God's plan for my life? Am I destined to correct the fallacies of this harsh reality? Am I supposed to give my all to the Lord's people? Yes. There is no doubt that I'm supposed to complete this plan that seems so far-fetched. For he gave me life. Life didn't make me. Now I realize the strength I am blessed with. For I am strong. I am virtuous. I am me. And you are you. And so you are virtuous, you are yourself, you are strong, you are quite capable of doing amazing things in the world today. I don't care if I'm speaking to just one, but you are capable of doing amazing things. I believe in you. And of course, my prayer is that you believe in your own self. So I just want to say thank you for watching. And I just want to share with you how the tone of this show is going to be shifting just a bit, just a teeny bit. Okay. I am going to be giving some great content and information on powerful concepts. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about concepts, some controversial issues as it pertains to leadership. But when it comes to training is going to be reserved for the Leadership TKO community. Okay, the Leadership TKO community. Now, if you want to be a part of this community, go ahead and let me know. Okay, go ahead and let me know if you want to be a part of the Leadership TKO community. Just reply community below, and I'll give you some more information about joining that community, because it's in the community that I'm going to be providing training. These are 15-minute training videos on topics related to leadership development, professional speaking, marketing, business development, and so much more. So if you're looking to really get that mentor, right, where I can just pour seeds into your life, then go ahead and put reply community below the live stream. For those of you who are on podcasts and you're trying to figure out how do you get connected, right, all you need to do is go to Facebook, or you can go and put in Facebook to search for. You can put in facebook.com/leadership keynote speaker. That way you'll be connected to the fan page. And if you're on, of course, conference line, you'll be able to get access. Just, of course, put that into the Google search engine, and it'll come up as well. So listen, I just want to say thank you for those of you who are tuning in. All right. If you have a specific topic in mind that you would love to hear information on as it pertains to women, or as it pertains to just, issues that we need to focus in on, go ahead and place those topics below in the feed, right? Just reply below the feed and we'll talk about it as well. If you're on the podcast, comment in the comments area as well. We'd love to hear about those topics that you want some clarification on. I'll definitely answer those topics in the order that they have been received, okay? But I thank each and every one of you for tuning in. Remember, this podcast show is on, and of course, this night show is aired on Mondays at 9:00 p.m. So be sure that you come by and that you tune in every Monday at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Other than that, everyone, I just want to say thank you so much for watching Leadership TKO, the night show, with your host, Lakeisha McKnight. And we're actually going to be back on next week. Take care, everyone, and God bless.